Was anyone else shocked about the fact that Semi's brother was the prosecutor guy? That was really shocking because I didn't expect that. But besides that, let's take a minute of silence to acknowledge the fact of how handsome that dude is. I'm sorry, but he is handsome.
Come on. I guess I'm just a misfit, huh? Yeah. Not coming right now? No? Not coming right now?
Hey everyone, how are you all doing? My name's Deborah and I am here to give you episode 6 review of You Who Came From the Stars. And I am pretty excited about this episode because a lot of things happened in this episode, and like I said in my episode 5 review, watch out if you're waiting for my recaps because I just love my recaps. No recaps this week. I am sorry, but no recaps this week. Just because this came out slightly late, but yeah, it's still coming out. So I'm just gonna kind of give a review, a true review, I think, of what I felt of this episode. Okay, so let's do this. First of all, let's start from the very beginning. I was so happy that Ji-hyun, when Ji-hyun came to the house, he did not kill her at that moment. Because I'm like, oh my goodness, is he gonna kill her? But duh, if he kills her, then the episode is like the series is gonna end, except she comes back as an alien or something, or as a monster. But anyways, I felt kind of bad for her because it's so obvious that she's his next target now, because when he went to the drawer and he didn't find her pulse, like that's Yura's pulse, he immediately started asking her about her sickness. That's his like ways of knowing what the sickness is of his victim, so he can successfully lie about their suicide and get away with it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, don't tell him, he's gonna kill you. But she told him anyways. Anyways, next, another thing that I really loved about this week was how we noticed that Minjun was slightly jealous of Hui-kyung. So that was pretty interesting because we've never seen Minjun like really jealous, and he realized that he was jealous, but he tried to hide it when he was in class and they asked him that question, and then he brought back this memory of him and Hui-kyung talking, and he was acting all childish over the whole situation with Sung-gi, and we all knew he was jealous. So that was like a major improvement or a step ahead in their relationship, which I totally loved and adored. Next, I love how when Sung-gi came to the office with her manager and director, her company though, and they were fighting with her mom and how her mom was treating them and how they were treating her mom. She just came in and said, dudes, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I'm gonna make my own self famous. I'm gonna be on my own. I don't need you. I don't need the manager. I don't need no one. But yeah, that was pretty cool though. I felt it was pretty cool, but I felt so sad for her, and it was so sad because it was obvious that the manager still wanted to be with her. And I'm so happy that the other guy that was with CEO Ann realized that what CEO Ann was doing was wrong and he shouldn't have let her go, and he kind of shook his head like, dude, you're taking the wrong step. This is so wrong on many levels. Yeah, so I liked that scene. And something else that I found pretty interesting was when Semi lied to her in the previous episode about her mom getting a fracture. And so when Semi met her again at the company and her mom was saying how she was coming to take the main role that Sung-gi had, and Semi fake cried how she was not going to take it and lied that she told the director she wasn't going to take it, etc, etc, just to get Sung-gi to say, okay dude, go take it. And Sung-gi could see through everything because the previous day she lied to Sung-gi about her mom getting a fracture, and Sung-gi just saw through it all, and Sung-gi was like, dude, just take it. And by the way, your mom's leg looks fine. For her to be wearing heels, she'd be okay. And I don't know, I felt, oh my goodness, finally we're getting to see the side of Semi that I've been asking so many questions about, because we never really saw a clear Semi. Is she gonna like turn her back on her friend, or isn't she gonna turn her back on her friend? But we can see from the way she was angry at Sung-gi for not congratulating her happily that it's almost, to me, I feel she's gonna turn really bad and she's gonna go like haywire against Sung-gi. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see, but I really feel sad for her because that's one relationship that I actually wanted to go well, but I don't think it's gonna go well. Another thing that I really liked in this episode is that we found out that wasn't it this episode? Maybe it was last episode. But anyway, what I loved was we found out that Yuhwa's dad didn't want her dead. And that meant so much to me because I just couldn't understand how a dad could want his child dead just because of a honorary title, but apparently he didn't, and that was just so good. Yeah, so that was pretty interesting to see. Next, another thing that I really loved was when she went to Minjun's house when she got the threat mail that was a fan mail with Yura's face and the blood coming out, and she went to Minjun's house and she asked him about like doesn't he think it's high time he gets a phone, like so she can call him in times of emergency. And then later on we see how she got a sticky note on her door with milk, and the sticky note was telling her to come to school even though she would get an F, and that was just the cutest thing ever. I loved how concerned he is about her, and he felt slightly like sad about her not being able to contact him, so that was really cool. And another thing that just creeped me out was when Ji-hyun went to the doctor, the vet doctor, and he was with the dog and talking about the whole propofol thing. It got me so scared for her because right now I feel he's gonna get her into all this mess with the whole propofol scandal, and I really hope he doesn't do that because y'all know, if you've been keeping up with like Korean news, entertainment news, you know what like the propofol stuff does to them. People went to jail for that. She can go to jail for that. So I hope he doesn't like throw that on her and cause her to get into this whole huge mess. But I really love how she was singing this song that G-Dragon and Donnie did, but then it was changed to her and she was like Songi, Songi, 10,000 Songi, etc. or whatever. But yeah, I loved how she parodied the song, and that was just so cute. Another thing that I really loved was when she was trapped up in the car and she was so scared about coming out, and he kind of figured she might be in the school, so he used his powers to listen, and then he heard how she was trapped in the car and he went and he saved her, and he was spouting all this stuff about law, and it was just the most awesome thing ever. And how he just like knew the guy hit her car on purpose, and he was kind of being a little bit violent, and he got her out of the car. It was just the cutest thing ever. I loved that scene. Another thing that I loved was when she asked him to be her manager and he agreed to be her manager. I'm like, yes, you're getting closer. So that was really cool. But I'm also scared about Semi because Semi kind of found out about him being the same person that saved her a few years back. So I'm kind of scared of Semi turning all evil and spoiling everything for them. Semi, please do not spoil it for them. But yeah, that's something pretty interesting to see if she'll figure out that, or if she's gonna be wondering how they look the same, he hasn't aged a day, or she's gonna think maybe it's his ancestor or something like that. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what they do with that and how they use that. But I thought Hui-kyung was so sweet in what he arranged for her to make her feel better. But when he asked her, when they were on the, I think it's called a roller coaster, he asked her about, no, the Ferris wheel, he asked her about finally committing to him. I felt so sad for him because I just don't want them to be together. I want her to be with Minjun, and I feel she's gonna say no to him, but we're gonna find out next week. And I felt so sad for Minjun when Minjun didn't want to be didn't want to hear what they were saying, so he stopped time, and that was the moment when we knew, oh my goodness, he has completely fallen for her and he has no way of returning back. And I'm like, finally he has fallen for her. So that was pretty interesting. Yep. So yeah, I liked this week. I love this week. I like how they ended the whole story between him and Yuhua, in that we saw how Yuhua died by saving him. So this week was kind of like a closing of one chapter, the closing of his past, and him beginning another chapter with her, in that he's now realizing that he loves her and not the Yuhua in her. Even though it was pretty interesting to see how she felt so sad about seeing the pendant or that artifact from the Joseon era, and she just hates the Joseon era. And I'm like, dude, you hate the Joseon era because of what happened to you in the past in the Joseon era. But it was pretty interesting to see. And the ending, the epilogue with the manager when he left notes for the next manager, it was the sweetest thing ever. So yeah, I really liked this week. I like how he has ended his past and his feelings for Yuhua. He still loves her, don't get me wrong, but he's starting a new love with Sung-yi, and he realizes that he now feels something for her. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see if he goes back to his country, alien country, or if he stays and then she is obviously gonna die and then he waits for her next reincarnation, or and if she's reincarnated or if she's not reincarnated. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what happens. I'm pretty excited about that, and I hope you are too. So tell me what you thought about this week. I loved this week. I loved how everyone's character was kind of brought out in a different way, and we started seeing like a romance budding between them, and there might be hope for Wee Kyung, but I don't see that happening. But yeah, this week was pretty interesting, and I think next week we'll go more into the whole murder thing and Jae Kyung trying to murder her. But I loved this week's episode. It was pretty nice. What did you think about this week's episode? Did you like it or did you not like it? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments down below. And don't forget to give this video a like, and don't you forget to subscribe, and don't you forget to share, and don't forget to keep being the awesome, beautiful people you are. From me to you all, peace.
Come on, I guess I'm just a misfit, huh? Yeah. Not coming right now.